All right, so let's take a look at 27 to 30. Yesterday, we started looking at the least common multiple. Just let me refresh you guys of how our instructions looked like yesterday. We looked at multiples, and then we look for the least common multiple. Now for today, 27 through 30, we're going to start with multiples, but then I'm going to ask you to find the LCM. To be honest, LCM is the abbreviation for least common multiple. So pretty much you guessed it. It's the same thing we did yesterday. So let's take a look in case we didn't quite get it yesterday. We're going to do it again. So question number 27. I want you to find the first 5 multiples of 12. Okay, so I want to know how much is 12 times 1, 12 times 2, 12 times 3, 12 times 4, and 12 times 5. I'm asking just for the first 5. So I know 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 times 3 is 36. 12 times 4, I know it's 48. And then 12 times 5, I know it's 60. So that's it. I find the first 5 multiples. To be honest, the list of multiples could go as far as I need to go. That's why I'm asking only for the first 5. Okay. Another way you could have seen it, because we learned that multiplication is repeated addition. So we start with 12, and each time we add 12 more, right? So you can just add 12 more plus 12 plus 12 as far as you need to go. Again, we learned that multiplication was when you're adding the same number over and over and over again. So the multiplication of 12, basically you start with 12, and each time you add 12 more. Don't forget that when you type in your answer, don't forget there's a comma in between the numbers, and don't forget there's a space. So let me emphasize, there is a space after each comma. Don't forget that space. All right, let's take a look at number 28. I'm going to do the multiples of 29. So I'm going to start with 29, right? This is how I do multiples. I'm going to start with 29. And then each time I'm going to add 29 more. So 29 plus 29, it's 58. Plus 29 is 87. Plus 29 is 116. And then 116 plus 29 is 145. To make this easier, I just do plus 29 each time. But we can go 29 times 1, 29 times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. Again, don't forget a comma in between the numbers, and don't forget a space after each comma. Okay, so that was not that bad. Writing a list of multiples is not bad. Now here, 29 and 30, I'm asking for the least common multiple, right? LCM is the abbreviation for the least common multiple. What I'm going to do, let me write some multiples of 32. Okay, so I'm going to write multiples of 32. All right, so that's going to be 32, 64, 96, 128, 160. Let me do a couple more. 192 and 224. Now let me write some multiples of 16. So that's going to be 16. So I'm going to start at 16. 32, 48, 64, 80, 96, 112, 128, 144, and 160. Okay, so I started with 16, and each time I added 16 more. Or you guys can do 16 times 1, 16 times 2, times 3, times 4. Okay, now let me find some multiples of 40. So we're going to do 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, and I think that's enough. Now let me see if I find a common multiple. Common multiple, basically, I have a list of multiples, so I'm looking for a number that is in all of them. So I see 160 there, 160, 160. Now let me see, do I have a smaller common multiple? No, in this case I don't. So 160 is the smallest common multiple. So I'm gonna call this 160. Right, least means smallest. So the smallest common multiple, that's what we mean with least common multiple. All right, let's take a look at number 30. Let me find multiples of 40. So I'm gonna go 40, 80, 120, 160, 200. Let me find some multiples of 20. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. Let me find some multiples of 30. So 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. I think that's enough. I already see a common multiple. I see 120. That's a common multiple. My question here is, do I have a smaller common multiple? Nope. I see 80, but only on two lists. Common multiple means it has to be in all. So nope, 80 is not a common multiple. Nope, I don't see a common multiple. So 120 is the smallest. So my answer will be 120. Remember, LCM, least common multiple. I mean, from the common multiples, I'm looking for the smallest. Okay, so there it is. You guys can see it. That's what we did today.